and made appearances on Letterman and Jimmy Kimmel Live. In an exclusive interview, guitarist Paul Banks and drummer Sam Fogarino talk about what it was like to make this new album.
We've gained a lot of experience, with those first two records, with Bright Lights and Antics, and they were recorded and written back to back, and lots of touring back to back, and it was just kind of, one fell swoop. Really, it felt like one long movement with a very short break in between. And with Our Love to Admire, we had 10 months to sit back and just be in New York and write this record. And so I think there's kind of a sense of calm and kind of knowing what we're getting into this time around.
We went through a lot making the record. In the studio as well, it was not an easy album to make. And then once we made it, once it's done and we are completely finished and it's mastered, that's the first time that anybody hears it. And at that point, we've already all gone through such a process that it's sort of like, I don't really care what you think. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we're really excited for our fans to hear the music, and we're really excited to have this piece out that we've spent so much time on. But I felt a lot more calm and just, proud.
The band was under a lot of pressure, but they never lost their confidence.
The first record's a big deal because it's your first record. The second record's a big deal because everybody's expecting you or worried that you're going to, hit the sophomore slump and just be this one record band. But we kind of crossed those hurdles, and for this album, it was sort of like, well, this is what we did this time, and there's no way we could have worked any harder or given it any more, so here it is. And I think there's that kind of, I don't know if it's self-assuredness or anything, but because you're always, we really do care about, hope our fans love the music. But this one, we kind of put so much into it that it was that when it was done, it was sort of like, it's done, hope you like it.
For this album, the band jumped from indie label Matador Records to Capitol Music, which left fans wondering what impact this would have.
Going from Matador to Capitol, they have more in common than one would think. Matador operates as if they were a major label. They want to get their bands into the same outlets as Capitol does, and actually they do quite a good job at it. I mean, it was a pretty inspiring experience to be with Matador for those few years. And going over to Capitol, where you think it's going to be even more intense with people breathing down your neck and everybody trying to control things, it couldn't be any more opposite. We really kind of laid out our terms, and they are being respected. I mean, it's just, nobody came into the studio while we were making the album. We don't get hounded backstage, by different, department heads and staffers at the label. And, they're all just they've been aware of the band. It's a band that has, sold a collective, worldwide, like over 1 million records on a small label. What that says to smart business people is like, leave them alone. They know what they're doing. We'll just sell it. So it's kind of a good situation because they are just being a record label and selling our music, and we take care of the rest.
And even as Interpol's fan base continues to grow, the band holds fast to honesty in their music.
Hopefully having this established fan base so that brings forth that freedom, and the big hook, that brings people into Interpol, I think, is the honesty. I think it's just like, we don't follow any trends, and we do exactly what we want to do, and we enjoy doing it. And I think that, you kind of, if you convey that through your music to people, I think that's what they listen to. There has to be a sense of honesty, and I think if we totally shifted directions and just retain that honesty and quality, then I think you're fine. I think if you start worrying, the minute you start worrying about appeasing even one of your fans, it's over. That's it. Interpol should cease to exist.
And I think even if a fan doesn't like something new that you do, if it was true to you to do it, then they should at least have respect, and you still have your self-respect, and that's a lot better than if you kind of sell out or compromise out of fear or something, because then you don't have self-respect, your fan might not like it, and then what's the point of any of it? So it's actually a pretty simple thing to navigate. It's just like, be true to your own artistic interests, I think, and let the rest work itself out.
Unlike many bands, Interpol draws equally from all its members.
Because Interpol is this collaborative thing, what inspires me in the context of Interpol is what the other guys are playing. So it's, you know, in the same way that I'll listen to music that I'm not contributing to and get a reaction from it, I get to be part of music that I love to hear and also contribute to it when I'm playing with Interpol. So it's sort of like, that's the one thing that a lot of people don't seem to get about when they talk to us about inspiration. It's kind of each other is the inspiration for the songs that we write. Like, we feed off of what each other is doing. And the reason why it works is because we all like everybody's individual sort of qualities as a musician, and it kind of draws things out of each of us. So it's this weird insular thing, and it's really hard for me to imagine how other music from outside of what I'm listening to in the moment is impacting what I might bring to this collaboration that we do. So it's kind of like Interpol inspires itself.
And what's next for the band?
More touring around the globe. We got, well, we talked about Mexico City. We're going back to Europe after the new year, which we do get a break, by the way, over the holidays. We're going to New Zealand, Australia, and then we're going to South America.
For all the latest news and updates, be sure to check out InterpolNYC.com. For MVids, I'm Zoriana Kidd.